And once again for the red jersey.
All right. Well, a sport that has seen, you know, a lot of backlash in recent times, cycling. Some have even said all the past winners in cycling are not credible, maybe because of what has happened to Lance Armstrong and some of those other top names. But cycling is a sport that's very, very interesting. You know, it takes a lot of stamina, discipline, and determination to finish all of those races. And Fabian Cancellara there, he has the overall lead now, and because he also won stage 2. So we'll keep our eyes on the Tour of Oman and see how things go on in that one. Let's come to football now. Charity, they say, begins at home. Absolutely. Let's start with the Golden Eaglets. Really, a lot of things happening around. Yesterday was the story of South Africa and Mali playing a draw. The Ivorians defeating Cameroon again, this level at under 17. But tomorrow, tell us what's going to happen. Nigeria takes on Zambia and Guinea and Niger.
Yeah, I think it's a game that we just have to go out and ensure that we secure the 3 maximum points. The coach said he wasn't happy about that. That was the worst performance that the guys have ever put up. Yeah, you know, since he took charge as as the coach of the under 17 team, and they were not really at their best. I think one thing they actually imitated against them, and one problem they have is complacency. They feel that they have actually they can't overrun their opponent, and that actually backfired. We hope that the guys will come to the party. The only player that didn't train with the rest of the team was Christian Charles, who was injured in the game against Guinea. We hope that the guys will, at the end of the day, secure the 3 maximum points.
All right. I hope they'll do enough to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. That's the ultimate for us. Let's move on. Take 2 steps higher. I'll talk about the 2015 All-African Games qualifier, and that's the fixture. Gabon take on Nigeria on the 23 team. I mean, you've talked about Alex Iwobi not being able to make the party, but I think we still have enough in us to get the decent results in Libreville.
Yeah, we have the decent results. We have the best. We have also a very decent coaching crew that can get the job done for Nigeria. They've actually been preparing. They've had a very good preparation, and judging from by the way they've actually prepared and they've actually even played. You remember the Super Six, they didn't win the tournament, but I think they gave a very good account of themselves. What more training, what more preparation do you need?
And gave the fans a good impression.
Yeah, they gave them a good impression with their scintillating display, I must say. And they also played against, the under 20. They played in Tunisia as well, as part of the preparation. So I think they are well prepared. They are good to go, and they should probably get a very favorable result over there. It might not just be. They might not get a win, but I think a draw will be good for us. Then the return fixture.
Considering the fact that Gabon also good at this level. Absolutely. All right, you talked about Tunisia. Let's go to Tunisia now. Let's talk about Tunisia. And of course, CAF seem to be having problems with North African countries. In Egypt, it's about the violence, football turning ugly. In Morocco, it's about Morocco not wanting to host the Nations Cup. And of course, Tunisians came to Equatorial Guinea, and it was a shame, really, what they almost did to the referee. And CAF, placed a ban on them until they apologize. They have refused to apologize, and they're taking the case to CAS. What do you think is going to happen when they go to... And CAS must hear that case, fast-track the hearing of that case. So if they upturn that decision, so that Tunisia can be part of the 2017 African Nations Cup qualifiers. But what do you think will happen when they get the... Because CAS will look at the case, the facts of the case for his merits, and take a decision.
I think the Tunisians were actually wrong, if you ask me, for taking the case to Court of Arbitration for Sports. Normally, all the agreed bodies, those who were involved, were given bans. Even the Equatorial Guineans were also not left out. They got 100,000. They were not spared. $100,000 they had to pay to CAF. And I think just tendering your apology for your outburst on the fact that they said
pay the fine.
They paid the fine. I think
tender apology, pay the fine. I mean, this is a shame.
And it's a shame. You were almost beating up the referee. It was indeed a shame to African football. And I think that some people should just talk to the Tunisians. This is not what the whole world want to see about African football. And despite the fact that this was actually carried out, they are still insisting that they were unjustifiably.
I don't know. I don't know if I should say this. I don't really like talking about politics and sports, but is there an unrest going on in CAF? I don't know. Tunisians are very strong in the politics of African football, and Tunisians will have their reason for feeling we will not apologize to CAF. Now, if they do not back down, do you see CAF losing the North African region? Some conspiracy theorists are already saying maybe they will form the Arab League and leave CAF altogether. I'm just joking anyway. but where does this leave us, really?
Yeah, it leaves us. What is lost for the good is lost for the gander. It happens to some other African teams, and they are able to abide by the rules. I think Tunisia, by virtue of not being even having a whole lot of other, the fact that they are one of they have the highest numbers of representatives in CAF, should not allow this to actually
apologize.
They have to apologize.
Okay,
that's it.
All right, let's move on. Let me quickly take this tweet. Eweka Ozarabo Prince at Ozarabo Eweka says NFF should look for a new coach, not Keshi. Well, that's his opinion anyway. Thanks for contributing to the program. Let's quickly move on. Talk about the Europa League, some sort of Nigerian interest in that one, and that's what we're talking about this evening. The results will come up on your screen shortly. Clubs having some Nigerians on parade were involved. For Villarreal, the news was that Ike Uche got a goal, and Villarreal defeated Salzburg 2-1. Liverpool, well, Jordan Ibe, his body language, it looks like he's not going to play for Nigeria, but says they defeated Besiktas, Mario Balotelli penalty. Celtic, you know that Efe Ambrose is on the books of Celtic, and Joel Obi also on the books of Inter. Well, they played a 3-3 draw. Roma played a 1-1 draw with Feyenoord. Roma has Africa, Mali, and Africa's Seydou Keita. And Tottenham, well, the sprinkling of Africans in Tottenham, Ben Taleb there, Emmanuel Adebayo there as well. Sevilla defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-0. Trabzonspor, a sprinkle of Nigerians there as well, lost to Napoli by 4 goals. And of course, Anderlecht, I mean, the story of Anderlecht, over the years, Nigerians have always been in and out of Anderlecht. And of course, they defeated Dynamo Moscow. Played a draw with Dynamo Moscow. Beg your pardon. All right, let's move on to this one. Kule will be very interested in talking about, but let me quickly run through the fixtures. Aston Villa take on Stoke City. Chelsea take on Burnley. Crystal Palace take on Arsenal. Hull City take on QPR. Sunderland take on West Brom. These are some of the fixtures for you. Swansea take on Manchester United. Manchester City take on Newcastle. These are some of the fixtures. Okay, the remaining ones coming up on your screen. Southampton take on Liverpool. Everton take on Leicester. Manchester City take on Newcastle. And Tottenham take on West Ham. Well, pick up the pack, Kunle, for you quickly.
The pick of the pack absolutely is a game involving Southampton and Liverpool. Both teams are actually vying for a spot in the UEFA Champions League. Okay. And the first time both teams met, Liverpool actually defeated Southampton at the start of the league. And then with the caliber of player, the way Southampton are playing as we speak, I think they are actually fired up. Though in the last, they've not really been in the best of form.
Do you see a change at the top?
No, I don't.
At the end of this week, do you change it? No, maybe in the top 5 teams.
In the top 5 teams, absolutely.
Maybe Tottenham climbing over Arsenal.
No, Arsenal climbing probably over Southampton at the end of the day.
I know why he said that. All right, let's move on. Selected fixtures for you. Well, let's tell you things you can look out for. In the Serie A, Lazio take on Palermo. That's a game you need to look forward to. Juventus not playing a strong side. Roma as well not playing a strong side. But this, teams that are near the top in the Serie A. Fiorentina take on Torino. That's also something you might look out for. I think it's 4th against 6th in that one. In the French league, Saint-Etienne take on Marseille. Lyon take on Nantes. Interesting fixtures. 1st and 2nd involved in that one. In Spain, Real Madrid take on Elche. And of course, in Germany, Stuttgart take on Borussia Dortmund. I mean, you want to see what's going to happen to Dortmund with the resurgence. Will they continue or will they fall back down? Let's not even bother to talk about Bayern. They're cruising as we speak. Then, of course, Schalke take on Werder Bremen. So these are some of the interesting fixtures. But quickly, as we wrap things up, Kunle, Chelsea have suspended 2 of the fans that made those racist comments in Paris when they took on PSG. As we wrap things up, Kunle, do you think some of these steps will help eradicate racism in football?
Yeah, I think it will be completely difficult to eradicate racism completely, but if this kind of measures is being taken,
Swift.
Swift.
You
reactions,
investigate, find the culprits, deal with them.
You deal with them. I think it's a very, very good one. And they said if they're actually found guilty, they'll be banned from entering and
watching. If the club they claim to support is seen not to be taking take away points, find them heavily.
I think it's a very good one. Okay. It's a good way to go.
All right. Okay, that's how we wrap things up on the show this morning. You can join us again next week. That's when Sports This Morning comes your way. But of course, to give you more updates in the world of sports, you can join us later tonight for Sports Tonight when we have more time on our hands. On behalf of everyone that has made this show possible this morning, and from me, Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
I will be your host for today. Welcome and thank you very much for being here for the global launch of Spanish. There will be some.
Well, I think is opening the debate in the Congress is only the odd matter regarding World Cup, confederations. They all want more spots in the World Cup, so I think is the way that we increase the number of national teams. With that proposals is coming teams directly more from non-European confederation, and we increase, of course, the money that can be received for invest again in grassroots and in football. Probably you're gonna have more 3-4 days of competition, and the format I think is just to open the debate, is just that the people can think the possibility to have 48 teams World Cup playing in 2 different continents.